Hello everyone, from whichever place you are watching from. My name is Charles Willie Soul, a wellness expert and a lab professional. Welcome to this channel where we talk more about your health, about your wellness, about preventive health, and the things that you need to do to improve on your health. We try to encourage you on how you can live a healthy lifestyle, on how you can prevent yourself from visiting the hospitals constantly. Welcome to our today's episode where we are going to discuss more about your gut health. Have you ever wondered why most of the time after you have taken a meal, you feel a lot of bloating, that is stomach swelling, and your stomach is filled with a lot of gases. You experience a lot of constipation. You have some kind of constant tiredness. You feel hungry frequently. Sometimes you feel a lot of stomach ache, you have a lot of mood swings, a lot of stress, some of unexplained weight gains. If you have ever experienced all those kind of things, then watch this video to the end and you will get to know some of the causes of this problem and how well you can manage them and prevent them from occurring totally. When we talk about your gut, it doesn't necessarily just talk about your stomach. We are talking about your entire digestive system. And everything that happens within your body all begins within your gut. All the wellness or the problems that you might experience within your body all start within your gut, including how your brain functions properly. That's why it is important that you improve on your gut health, because this is the only way that you are going to improve on your health, that you are going to improve on your productivity, that you are going to prevent yourself from getting sick constantly, that you are going to have a fit body system. Research shows that 70% of your immune system resides in your gut. And how is that possible? And what manages and control all those processes? We have what we call the microbiome. Microbiome, these are just helpful microorganisms that resides within your stomach. Helpful microorganisms that resides within your stomach. And these microorganisms are in millions and even in trillions in numbers, and they reside within your stomach, most of which are bacteria. So you know what you are doing to your system the moment you're constantly taking antibiotics to terminate the bacteria. They will not only terminate the infectious bacteria, but also clear all the important microbiome that resides within your stomach. And this microbiome are what helps in food digestion. They are what helps in hormone regulation. They are what helps in maintaining your immunity. They are what help in production of essential vitamins within your system. So the moment you clear out this microbiome, your immunity is affected, your digestion process is interfered with, your vitamins production is interfered with, your immunity, your hormone regulations are all affected, and you are going to get into problems and you are going to get sick. Then how then do we live with this microbiome? Remember, as I said, that this microbiome are in trillions. And just like any other living organism, just like yourself, these microbiomes need to be fed. They also need food, just like yourself. And who feeds this microbiome? It is you. And how do you feed them? A healthy diet. A healthy diet. There are normally two terms that are often misused. We have the term probiotic and the term prebiotic. Probiotic are just like probiotic foods. These are just foods that introduces this advantageous microorganism into your system. For example, the fermented foods, the fermented milk, things like onions, the garlics, fermented meat, fermented vegetables. They are what introduces this helpful microorganism into your system, hence the term probiotic. You have heard of probiotic yogurt and any other type of probiotic food. But as you take them, it is important that you go natural as possible. If it is fermented milk, it is important that you go for the natural yogurt as possible. You avoid the ultra processed ones. We'll get to know why the ultra processed ones are dangerous to your system. Then we have another term called prebiotics. Prebiotics, these are just now the foods that you take in to help in the feeding of the probiotics in your system, the microbiomes. They are the foods that you take in that helps in maintaining your microbiome within your gut. Foods that are essentially rich in fiber. For example, we have the whole grains, foods that whole grains. Your body normally is not capable of digesting the fiber part of the whole grains, that outer parts and all that stuff. So it is important that as you take any meal, you must include the fiber into your meal. If it is maize, it is important that you eat it as a whole. If it is groundnut, eat it as a whole. And all the sorts of food that are rich in fiber. Because that is only when you are going to feed yourself and feed the important microbiomes or the probiotics that are within your system. So what happens when you take in a diet that is not healthy, a diet that does not contain fibers? When you take a fiber-rich diet, each time you are taking a meal, it is important that you include the fiber so that you feed in yourself and you feed in your microbiome as well, such that when you take, for example, whole grains, a diet that has fibers, your body will take in the nutrients within the whole grains that are important to them and digest them, and your microbiomes will feed on the fiber part. And that's, you can now see how symbiotic this relationship is. It is a symbiotic kind of relationship. You feed the microbiomes or the important microorganism or the bacteria within your gut, and they help you in digestion, and they help in improving your immunity, and they help in regulating your hormones, and they help in vitamin production, all those kind of stuff, metabolic processes. You can now see how important this microbiome is. But what then happens when you take foods that are not healthy? For example, you decide to take chips, the fried potatoes. You find that these fried potatoes, they will get into your system and everything will be digested into your system, leaving your microbiome or the microorganism within your gut with nothing to feed on. What will they do in this case? They will force to share with you these foods that you take. And in most cases, the microorganism that feeds on these foods that are important to you are normally referred to as the bad bacteria. So here now you are in a competition with them. Because you are not able to feed them, they will feed on what you take. The bad ones are the ones now that will continue to grow, because you are the one that will be feeding, and the moment they start overgrowing, they lead to you producing a hormone called dopamine. And what will dopamine do to you? It will make you to have that urge to take more of that fries or the fried chips or that ultra-processed food that you take. For example, the ultra-processed meats like sausages, like burgers, things like that. So that is what the bad bacteria will do. They will produce dopamine, and this will make you feel the urge to take more. You will be getting, and you will also be getting hungry most of the time to take more of this thing that will essentially be so harmful to you. Another thing that these things will do, when you don't feed them, they will start feeding on the protective layer of your gut. Your gut normally has got a mucus layer that helps in protecting the internal part on the internal cells and tissues. When you don't feed them, they will start feeding on the mucin, that is the content of the mucus layer. And when they feed in this mucin, they will break the walls of your gut, especially the intestine, the walls of the intestine and your colon, creating a way into the bloodstream and starting to making your intestine starting to take in or absorb even those substances that are harmful to you. They get it into your bloodstream. Another mechanism that will happen is that when these bad bacteria overgrow, their walls, the cell wall of these bacteria normally contain what we call lipoprotein. Not lipoprotein, but lipopolysaccharides. They are normally made up of what we call lipopolysaccharides. So when they overgrow and you continue to feed them due to your poor diet, the lipopolysaccharides will be produced, the gut wall will be broken down, and the lipopolysaccharide will get into your system, and that is one of the causes of the so many conditions like the autoimmune condition that you will start being at risk of getting the heart diseases, nerve problems. For example, the lipopolysaccharide, when they get into the bloodstream, when they get into their lipid channels, they will get into what we call the LDL, the low density lipoprotein, the bad cholesterol. They get inside there, they remove cholesterol, and they stuck inside there. So in the place of cholesterol, you will have the lipopolysaccharides, and they will form what we call the small dense lipoproteins, which is very dangerous to you, and you will start suffering to conditions such as angina, conditions such as atherosclerosis, your risk of developing heart failure. Now you see how all this begins right from your gut. And that's why it is important that you listen to your gut at all times. It is important that you get into your gut the right food stuff. The right food stuff. Because when you don't do that, your gut will start developing an imbalance. You will have an imbalanced gut. You start feeling things like bloating that we talked about earlier. You start developing things such as ulcers, heartburn. You will have low energy levels, because remember, these microbiomes help in energy generation. You will have poor nutrient absorption. Why? Because the lining of your stomachs have been damaged, and you now have a leaky gut, just taking in everything into your bloodstream. You start developing chronic inflammations, and all these things cause a lot of chaos into your system. And all these things, if are not controlled, what will be channeled even up to your brain, and you will start developing also stress and all that. You will have mood swings and all kind of things. So maintaining a healthy gut and listening to your gut will bring you a lot of benefits, one of which is you will have a better digestion. When you feed yourself with the right stuff, a food rich in fiber, a food that has reduced amount of omega-6, one of the sources of omega-6 in your system are the vegetable oil that we use. So you need to take more of omega-3 as opposed to omega-6. And the ratio of this one should be maybe 1:1 or 3:1, 3 omega-6 to 1, 3 omega-3 to 1 omega-6. But what does the modern food contains? A ratio of 20 omega-6 to 1 omega-3, a ratio of 15 omega-6 to 1, which is very high and very dangerous to your system. And what does this omega-6 do? They kill the microbiome in your system. They damage them, they destroy them, leading to you remaining with the bad bacteria in your system that will cause you a lot of problems. So, having the right diet and managing your gut health, having a balanced gut will help you have a better digestion, and you will have reduced bloating, you will have no constipation, you will not have irregular bowel movement. A healthy gut will make you have a stronger immune system. A healthy gut will improve on your mood and your mental clarity. A healthy gut helps boost an hormone called serotonin. Serotonin is a feel-good hormone. So when your gut is healthy, it helps improve on that. It helps you have reduced inflammation, you have good hormonal balance, you have better weight, you have more energy, the right amount of energy. All this linked to what you take in. So I normally encourage people to try, and the best way to go is try to live the ancestral way. Try to go natural as much as possible in terms of what we take. Anything that is wrapped and processed, avoid it as much as possible because it is going to interfere with you. Going to do you more harm than good. Try to reduce it as much as possible, and if possible, just try to avoid them at all. Too much snacks, especially the processed snacks, try to avoid them as much as possible because of what they do. They are processed, and in the process of that preservation of these processed, ultra processed items, the items that you buy maybe in the supermarkets or the shops, they are preserved. And what does preservation do? Preservation is just to try and prevent the substance from decomposing. And what causes this decomposition? Bacteria. And what does the preservation process do? Try to prevent the bacteria from working and causing decomposition. Now what happens when you get them into your system? They are going to clear any kind of bacteria that they come across within your system. And remember, you have trillions of bacteria, which are almost more than the number of cells you have in your body. When you clear all the bacteria, no proper digestion will occur, immunity down, hormonal imbalance, vitamins production not anymore, develop autoimmune conditions and all kind of conditions, constipation and all that. And what we are trying to do is to make you survive, and also the microbiome in your system to also survive, to help improve on your health. So it comes at a cost. Having a healthy life comes at a cost. It needs your time, it needs your sacrifices, it needs you to be informed of what you need to do. But I'm here to help you out. If you need a clear guidelines on what to do, if you need a clear guideline on what you can take in, you can contact me privately so that I can help you create such a healthy habit or routine that you can follow to improve on your gut health. there are things that you can do to amp up your gut microbiome and to elevate your immunity. Some of the habits that you can develop to try and improve on your gut health. Number one is to start your morning with a gut-loving drink. Every time you wake up, and you make it a routine that you start your morning with a gut-loving drink. For example, a lemon water, a warm water that contains a little salt, a ginger tea. Can use lemon, garlic, ginger. Such kind of drinks are what you need to first introduce into your gut. They are very important for your microbiome in your system, and they prepare them for the activities of the day of protecting you, helping you in digestion, managing your hormone levels, and all that. In each and every meal you take, ensure you include a prebiotic. And what does prebiotic do? They help feeds the probiotic, the microbiomes in your system, the good bacteria in your system. In each and every meal you take, ensure you include a prebiotic. These are foods that are rich in fiber. These are foods that your gut is not able to digest, but your bacteria, your good bacteria, feeds on them. Eat foods that have high antioxidants powder. As you cook your meal and use the spices that you manually use, ensure that you include your favorite herbs in your meals. Your favorite herbs like ginger in your meals. Your favorite herbs like garlic in your meal. The rosemary, things like that. Ensure that you include them in your meals and in your drinks. Prioritize hydrated foods that have got high levels of water. As you hydrate yourself, ensure that you make it habit of eating more of hydrated food. Anything that is deep fried is harmful to you. Contains a lot of omega-6. It doesn't contain fiber to feed your microbiomes, and so it is harmful to you. Then you who survives on chips each and every day, you are being unfair to your system. You are creating more harm to your system than help. You need to improve or change, or else you are going to perish, or else you are just a patient in waiting. So it is very difficult, or it might appear difficult to live a healthy life. It might appear expensive because of time and sacrifices that involve, but at what cost that is come to buy all these stuffs that are harmful to yourself. Your body is made in such a way that it easily adapts to each and everything. You should make it an habit of fasting, having what we call intermittent fasting between your meals. And it is important in each and every day. You can fast for maybe 12 hours, 8 hours, or 6 hours. And if you realize you can't not do that, you can't go maybe 4 hours without taking food, then you are already a patient that have not been determined. You have a problem and you need help. You need to change on your routines. You need to check on what you take in and change. Do the opposite. If you can't fast even for 6 hours a day, you already have a problem. Now, where is the problem? The problem is within your gut. So you need to change on your routine. You need to change on what you take in. But I'm here to help you out. You can reach out to me so that we can develop a plan. Taking antibiotics every time you feel sick, every time you feel you have a stomach problem, is causing more harm to you than help. What does antibiotics do? They kill the microorganism. And which microorganism? All the microorganisms that they come across. You take antibiotic only and only if it is highly necessary and when it is prescribed. But try to avoid them as much as possible, because some of these things just need to change in your routine to control them. You're having a stomach problem, you need to check on your diet. You're not taking fiber somewhere. You're not feeding your microbiome well. You're not doing justice to the microorganisms in your system, the good microorganism in your system. So you only need to check on that and try and manage your gut health. Or else you are going to develop a liver problem without being an alcoholic. You realize that you have a fatty liver yet you are not alcoholic. Where is the problem? Your gut is leaky. You are taking in the wrong stuffs. So purifying what you eat and giving what your body needs, and not only your body but also the microbiome in your system, ensuring that they are managed properly, it is the only way to a healthy gut. And a healthy gut is equal to a strong immunity. A healthy gut is equal to a proper digestion. A healthy gut is equivalent to no constipation. A healthy gut is equivalent to improved vitamin levels within your system. A healthy gut is equivalent to improved mental health. I hope this help improve your lifestyle. Some of these things, if you try to do them, you will realize that you don't even need to go to the gyms to be healthy. You just need to have a healthy routine. You eat healthy. You have a little bit of sunlight every morning. You have a walking routine each and every day. You have intermittent fasting within your meals. You ensure that you eat at least before 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. and give your body time to digest and process everything within your system. Your body has stores to store excess energy, excess fats, all that it can use when you don't eat. But you that you eat after every 1 hour, when does your body use this stored energy, this stored fats? When does your body use them? Will it use them when you die? So you need to adapt your system to a healthy life, and you will realize that you will take even years before visiting a hospital. So an improved gut health, a healthy gut health is equals to a healthy you. A stronger immunity, a stronger mental health, reduced stress and all that. So you have been wondering where that the problem lies? Within your guts. What you feed yourself. Keep watch. Stay informed and feel free to consult. And let me know if you are experiencing this problem. I can help you make a healthy diet plan, a healthy routine plan to help you improve on your health, to help you reduce on your fat levels, to help you balance in your weight, to help you improve on your mental health. Just reach me out and get help. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel. Keep in touch for more information. Thank you.